What's up, guys? Mason Brock Henderson, and yep, shows keeps getting better. Uh, Finally have a few confrontations that I thought maybe would happen later in the series. This is episode 7, I believe, and yeah, a lot. Once again, a lot happens, um, but it's Netflix, so they can do that. As far, okay, trying to think of all the different stories to touch on, because they're mainly two stories. They're kind of intertwined in this episode, though. Whereas in most of the other episodes, it's you got this story, you got this story, and they connect at one point, and that's it. And then you have like a little side story going on. You've got it starts off with Kilgrave inside Alias Investigations, and Ruben erupts, says that he loves Jessica, to which Kilgrave kills him. And then Jessica's whole plan is to take responsibility for that and go to Supermax so that whenever Kilgrave comes to get her, because she knows he will, that he can't get into a Supermax without being caught on camera. People will know that he exists. So it's kind of like she's sacrificing herself to help Hope, which I honestly felt it was kind of a last ditch plan that just she had lost. Ironically, she had lost all hope, and so the last thing she can think of is, well, I'll just go to a Supermax, and there's no way he can get to me there, and even if he does, then well, all the better. Um, so she tells Malcolm all this. She tries to tell Trish, but she's too busy with. I finally remember his name. I just forgot his name. You gotta be kidding me. I hate. It was. It started. I don't even remember now. Sucks. The cop guy. She's busy with him, and she just. It's kind of weird because this whole time she's been trying to help, but it seems in this instance she's like. She's kind of feeling like she's useless, I guess, after what happened with Kilgrave and the guys coming to take the van and take Kilgrave back. So she finds out who his likely his new it's called security detail. She finds out who's likely his newest security detail, and so her cop friend goes and starts tailing them. Finds Kilgrave, but doesn't tell her. Kind of interesting. He's spying on Kilgrave, and he's not, but he doesn't tell her that he found him. He says, I'll let you know if I find him or if I see him. I think maybe because he doesn't want her involved, or maybe most likely because he keeps talking about how the best way to end this is just to put a bullet in his head, which Jessica's already fervently said she won't allow because she wants to help Hope. Um, so that I think he's feeling like he can kill him because he's still really paranoid after what happened with Kilgrave controlling him. Which actually, when he first was showed up in the show to kill Trish, I thought he was just gonna be like this random person, this random cop who tries to kill Trish, and then Jessica stops him, and that was it. He's really become a character in this show, which is interesting. Um, so when Trish finally does, Malcolm finally gets in touch with her by calling her several times. Goes over, finds out the whole plan. She and Malcolm set their own plan in place to get rid of the body. To which Jessica says, "No, I've got a plan," and then jumps into the river after the body, gets the head off the body, and takes it into the police to the cop who, honestly, when I saw him in the previews, I thought it was Morgan Freeman, and once you get a better look at him, it's like, oh, he's not. But at first glance, kind of looks like him, just a little bit. but she's talking to him because he suspected her at the beginning after everything that happened with Hope. And so she brings him to head and says, "Look, I killed this guy. Put me in the Supermax." Hogarth comes in, dealing with a lot of stuff. Uh, Jessica in the last episode, maybe? Once again, I can't remember because the internet just keeps messing it up, so I'm mixing up some of these episodes. But she threatened, I'm pretty sure it was this episode, she threatens Wendy, Hogarth's soon to be ex-wife, to sign the divorce papers. To which Wendy comes back at Jerry and says, "Here's, here's a list of stuff that you did," and blackmails her pretty much. So I don't know what the game plan is here, but Jerry is very upset about this, obviously, and is I don't know what exactly the blackmail is for. What I think she said she wanted 75% of her assets or something like that, or else she's gonna give this information about the bribes that she did in her past cases, and she won't have a job anymore. Which Wendy points out, she, if she doesn't have her job, she doesn't have a life. She loves that job more than life herself. So, kind of clever from Wendy's point of view. But she's dealing with all this, so she comes in obviously pissed off at Jessica because I think Jessica maybe pushed a little too hard. So she comes in and says nothing that Jessica wants her to say. It says that she's got mental issues. I want her to take a psych test, blah blah blah. And Jessica's like, "No, just put me in a Supermax. I'm admitting guilt." But Hogarth doesn't want to because she doesn't want to lose a case. And so Jessica just drops her as a lawyer. She's like, "I don't want her to represent me." So she leaves, and then a cop comes in and says, "Miss Jones, you're free to go." And in that instance, I was kind of like, "Oh no." And this is where watching previews can sometimes hurt, because I remember seeing this scene. She walks to the cop station, and some cops have guns up to their necks. Some of them are pointing at civilians, some are pointing at other cops. And the cop that told her she was free to go comes in behind Morgan Freeman looking cop and points a gun at him. And Kilgrave stands up somewhere in the back of the office and just goes on this little monologue and reveals why he's doing this, to show his love for her. And this whole time, all of this stuff that seemed like torture, in his mind, he's showing her that he is the only one that challenges her. He's the only one that matches her. Which, I don't know if he knows about Luke yet, but once he finds out about Luke, he may be a little bit more worried. But yeah, he did all this just to show her that he loved her and that he's the perfect match for her, because nobody else challenges her like he does. And of course she's like, "You're crazy. This is all just a demented way of showing your love. Like, you're deluded." And it really is just this intense scene where, like, the Morgan Freeman looking cop's cell phone rings, and it's ringing. He's like, "Whose phone is that?" When he finds out, he grabs it and, like, throws it against the wall. It's like, "If anybody else's cell phone rings, I will make you eat it." And then it just, like, goes off on this rant. It's like, "There's noises, loud cell phones, and this place smells like piss," and throws, like, a bunch of folders. It's like, "I'm trying to make a profession of love here." And you just get this feeling that something bad's about to happen. Which nothing really bad happens. It ends with him. It's actually kind of funny. He's like, "In 30 seconds, all of you realize this is just one big joke, one big hilarious joke, and you will let Jessica Jones leave." And so he gives her like a few final words. "Find whatever I had hidden at your place, and then come home," and then leaves. And then after the 30 seconds has passed, all of them are just like, and just start busting out laughing. That was kind of funny to see, um, but at the same time, still scary. It's like I was laughing out of fear. But yeah, I mean that his motives have now become clear. Why he's doing all of this. Now, I still don't know what the end game is for him if things don't turn out how he plans them to, because obviously Jessica's not going to actually fall in love with him because she's not a psychopath. Um, so I'm wondering what the end game is if things don't work out for him. You know, if Jessica does not see it his way, what's the plan then? So I'm interested to see what he's got planned next. Um, trying to think. Aside from that, you've got this. This feels like it's just immaterial at this point. Ruben's sister came looking for him. Malcolm told her that he and Jessica were together um, to kind of hide the fact that he's dead. And she comes to Jessica later in the episode to ask where he is, and Jessica's like, "Look, he's gone. He's not coming back." Um, and I really want to punch this girl in the face. Like she's when she's talking to Malcolm, she's so cocky about it. You know, like he he goes in there. He's like, "I thought this was my place." She's like, "Don't lie to me. I'm a human lie detector. I can tell when men are lying." Like, I just went in there for some alcohol. Couldn't find any. She's like, "You you addicts are all the same," and just talks him down, and then talks Jessica down. Like, "I can't believe you're still doing things for that skank." And, like she just thinks she's so much better than everybody else, and it makes me want to punch her in the face. And I kind of wish she had walked in on Kilgrave and not Ruben, because yeah, Ruben was a little crazy, but at least he's not a complete just douchebag.
Mm.
I think that's about it, though. She does find the present and she does go home. Mr. Cop guy that Trish is sleeping with sees that because he's staking out her house where Kilgrave is. So I don't know what's going to happen next, but I don't know. Just a lot of stuff could happen from here. And they've got a lot going right now. They've got a lot of stories to deal with. They've got a lot of people to deal with. Um, and just like I said, this show just keeps getting better, and it keeps adding more. The story keeps getting more intense, and I'm not even like this is just talking about the story. I'm hardly even talking about everything else. The camera work itself, it keeps it dark, so the tone is always dark, um, which it's supposed to be. It's not supposed. They have jokes here and there. Her sarcastic tone is a bit of dry humor thrown in there. Jessica Jones' sarcastic tone. But overall, it's supposed to be a really dark and kind of creepy, gritty feel to it. Um, the music at the end, when she goes back to her office and is looking for this present that he left for her, the music just is eerie. Like it reminded me of, I, I don't know, like from a scary movie type thing. It's what it sounded like to me. Um, and they got that eerie, creepy feel for him. You know, everything going on with him and what he's doing. The mind control stuff has always been portrayed as kind of creepy. Um, and yeah, just they're first of all, on top of that, all of them really portray their characters well. he, Kilgrave is so deluded, but at the same time, you just he doesn't seem like he's deluded. Like when he's talking, when you listen to what he's saying, okay, yeah, this guy's a psychopath. But if you're just listening to him talk, you're like, this guy sounds normal. You know, he has this normal sounding voice. He just talks like nothing's wrong. He kind of sounds calm. He sounds, you know, he laughs about stuff, even in this intense situation. But if you're listening to what he's saying about killing people and how everything he's done for her, and he's hidden crazy. You know, it's crazy hidden deep down to where people can't even see it. Um, Really, really good villain. And yeah, that's about it. I'm excited to get to the next episode because it's really good. So that's it for this review. Let me know what you think. I'll see you at the next one. Peace out.